This week's episode is sponsored by Impressive Jewels by Elisa Carter. Elisa Carter has been my consultant since inception of the Right Along with Vanessa morning show. So go to ImpressiveJewels.net today. Get your little something. You deserve it. This week's episode is sponsored by Organic Sunscreen Moisturizer. Sheer Perfection Moisturizer that can only be found on perfectiondayspa.com. Contact Delia today. This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio, where the inner doll is created. Styling services they offer are sew-ins, quick weaves, relaxers, facial waxing, eyelash extensions, and much, much more. It's time for you to find your inner doll. Contact Selena today, serving the Tampa Bay and surrounding areas of Florida. And make sure you follow them on Instagram and Facebook. Are you tired of being stung by outrageous nail prices? Well, you don't have to worry about that at Queen Bee Nail Hive. Contact Queen Bee herself, servicing the Tampa Bay area. 813-414-1405. That's 813-414-1405. Queen Bee Nail Hive. Come be pollinated.
This is thy kingdom come. Let the spirit of the Holy One pass over. Let your peace cover the earth. Lord, let your will be done. This is the time to take a stand, to let the world know that you can. You can face tomorrow, but today is the day that you say, I will reign.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I am Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
Namaste. I am Michelle, and I am your motivator. How are you?
I'm great, co-host. How are you doing?
We're still winning.
Still winning. That's right.
Still winning.
That's right. Super Bowl Sunday, and anything
Still
can happen.
winning. Any Sunday, still winning.
Anything can happen. That's right. All right. So welcome, everyone. Welcome to Spiritually Speaking. We're glad to have you. Some of you who are here who are looking forward to us wrapping up Noah. We started out in the book of Genesis for this season, and we're going to have a few more episodes. So I think we're going to have, I think Easter Sunday is the Sunday where we're going to wrap up the season officially and go into the summer break, and then we'll pick things back up as things progress. But that's the plan. So let's see how that goes, because I need a break. I need a break. So
Vacation.
yeah, and I thought it's going to be, the weekend, my late sister's birthday, so all this kind of tie in. So I'm like, this will be a great day Sunday to wrap up the season and for us to prepare for the official season 2 of Spiritually Speaking, streaming worldwide simultaneously on all social media platforms.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So we hope you guys had a great week. And we are looking forward to sharing with you. I'm looking forward to hearing what the great Massey Washington has to share with us regarding the rainbow. We're going to be talking about that.
I'm excited too. This is where I started. This is where I started all of this. So it's like kind of going back to where I started when I became conscious and I started awakening to a lot of things. So yeah, I'm excited about this. This is usually where you need to start. You can start other places, but in this spot that we're starting tonight, it is kind of, for me, the foundation. When you begin to explore in this, then you'll expand your consciousness to something totally greater.
Right. And it's so liberating because we're in a day and age now where people are starting to think for themselves. And thanks to technology, they're starting to conduct a due diligence and really rely on allowing spirit to lead and guide them to all truth. It's great to take in information and everything and, consume it and really trust and allow your spirit to digest what you need to digest. This is a very exciting time, in my opinion. So I mean, the world is waking up, girl. They're waking up, and I'm just like, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run a couple of ads, and then we come back. We're going to go right into Noah, the conclusion. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what the great Michelle Massey Washington has to say. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Vanessa Klinger here, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator. Would you like to be a guest on our talk show, Spiritually Speaking, with my co-host, Michelle Massey Washington? Well, go out to the website, www.vanessaklinger.com, complete the form, and your sponsorship includes a guest spot. We look forward to meeting you and highlighting your product, service, or event. Stay in love. Start your 2021. Go to www.vanessaklinger.com. Click the free book giveaway button. Complete your details, and I will ship a free book to you. Stay in love. That's right, everyone. So hold on just a second. I am doing this and trying to multitask here, and I got caught multitasking. But yeah, so if you'd like to be a guest on Spiritually Speaking, go out to vanessaklinger.com. And where's my little banner here? Yep. You want to be a guest, go out to vanessaklinger.com/show sponsor, complete the form, and we'll contact you. We are taking slots for season 2. So reach out to us here. And what your package includes, it includes a guest spot and a couple appearances on Spiritually Speaking, where you can promote your product, service, or event. So go down to vanessaklinger.com/show sponsor. I'm looking forward to talking with you and seeing how we can give you the exposure that you deserve. And also, I'm giving away 10 free books. I actually sent out some books this weekend to some people who wanted them. That is That All You Got? Bring It. Let's see, where's it coming? Yep. Hello, Grace, and my baby here. Time to Transform, a guide to getting and keeping everything that you want. So if you'd like to learn more about that, complete the form and let me know which book you would like to receive free. And also, it's available on Amazon. So I was looking at that. I said, some people don't like books, but I like to touch the books. I mean, I have Kindle and everything, but I really like the books. And so if you want a free copy of my books, go out to vanessaklinger.com, click that free book button, and I'll get them out to you as soon as possible. All right. Enough of that. Now, we're talking about Noah. So let's get this all loaded up here. And I assumed, co-host, that we were in, where am I at here? Yeah, we were in chapter 9, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Genesis chapter 9, and I took the liberty and titled it After the Storm. Mm-hmm.
That's a good title. That'll work. Yeah. So we've been exploring Noah's journey and associating it pretty much with our journey from 2020 up until now, where the world became so not so good that God felt that there was a need for a transformation. And when we talk about transformation, it means a cross through and beyond. So as we began to do that, we talked about Noah was chosen. He in God's eyes, he was perfected. And so as we go forth, sometimes we don't feel like we are enough for God to use, or we don't have enough talents, or nobody knows our name, so we're insignificant. But God has no respect of a person. being available is probably your only requirement. You just be available, and he will take what he has purposed you with and use it for a great thing. So Noah was probably a no name in his day and time, but God knew him, and so that is the most perfected thing, that nobody can know your name, but what if God knows your name? And so he had chosen him for this great journey. And so a lot of us still haven't gotten it, as to why we're going in this trance across, through, and beyond, from normal, or what was labeled as normal, what was never normal. We were conditioned and tricked into believing that the way we were living was normal. And
Right.
so we never questioned it, we just duplicated it. And that's why during the meditation, at the end of my meditations every day, I always say we've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating. The only way that you're going to be authentic and the highest version of yourself is you have to begin to create some things. And some people say don't reinvent the wheel, but sometimes you have to reinvent the wheel because you're doing it on a stage and a place where you're writing your story. Maybe
Right.
the wheel was invented in somebody else's story, but when you're being a creative being, you have to rewrite your story. You have to write your script. You are the New Testament. So you are writing the script that someone else is going to read, but you must tell your story. And so I encourage my kids to not pattern their life after somebody, but pattern their life in a way that they're going to be successful and purposeful in their destiny. If we're all trying to be like Mike, then there's no authenticity. If we're all trying to be like Obama, Obama can only do what Obama did. Nobody else can duplicate that. And so once we find out our true worth, then we don't have to compete and we don't have to be jealous. We just stay in our own lane. And that's kind of what Noah did. He just followed God's instructions. And And so it's almost like medication says for best results, follow the instructions. So for a best life, for your best version of you, just follow your instructions. We also talked about moving from the head thinking to the heart thinking first. Most people don't understand or understand that your heart has neutrons and electrons and energy centers that think, that have a brain, that remember, that duplicate. Remember a long time ago we say you need to learn that by heart. We never said learn it by head. We always said learn it by heart. It also says that out of your heart flows the issues of life. It says God looks at the heart, where we look at the outside. So there are so many references to the heart. And I believe that Noah had a heart for God. Because anytime God tells you to do something that nobody knows anything about or never heard, Noah never heard of rain. The people never heard of rain. So if he went out saying it's going to rain, they're like, you're crazy. What is that? You're speaking in an unknown language. And sometimes we will speak in an unknown language, but you cannot expect everyone to be on the squad, to cheer for you, to approve you. In the day of social media, we are looking for likes and we are looking for hearts and we are looking for people to justify that what we just said or what we just did was appropriate for them. But when you walk in this fifth dimension, everybody's not going to celebrate you because you're doing something that they've never seen before. They don't understand, they don't overstand, they just don't stand for it. So as we begin to move to the end of Noah's journey, he followed God's instructions. It rained 40 days and 40 nights. It stopped raining, and then his life began again. And so in his life began again, God made a covenant with him saying that I will put a rainbow in the sky as a sign that I will not destroy the earth again with water. So we're going to correlate the rainbow, and we may be introducing some things to some people, and they're called the chakras. And you want to go ahead and jump in before I go on?
I just wanted, I wanted to just kind of break this up a little bit so that the viewers can get prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Because this, again, this isn't your typical Bible study. And what we're sharing with you, we're sharing with you what we have, what we have come to realize through our involvement, and how Michelle's gift, ladies and gentlemen, she found a way to connect the scientific with the spiritual. And she mixed that into, and she's able to serve a consumable, digestible word that helps to expand your consciousness. Now, what does that mean? Your consciousness expands when you learn something new, when you allow to trust the Spirit because He'll lead and guide you to all truth. When you lean on that scripture, you will not be viewing it from a place of fear, but a place of faith, knowing that, okay, this is what I am to be made aware of. Because when you ask God for something, all of His promises, I say requests, are yes and amen. He agrees. He says yes, He agrees with it. So when you do that, you have to be open to how that message is received. So when it comes to you, when you are open, and okay, when you're seeking something and you're open to however way it shows up, then when it shows up, you're more apt to view everything that's presented to you from an objective, because you're expecting something. You're expecting what you've asked for. So when something shows up and you're open to it, then Spirit has the ability to be able to let you know whether or not, it checks off in your spirit, whether or not that's for you or not. Like when Mary, what was her name? Pregnant with John. Was it Mary and Mary? I don't know. But anyway, she was pregnant with Martha. Was it Martha? Mm-hmm. And she, when she saw Mary, the baby leaped within her. That was a check off in her spirit. So when you are open, God can use you to where when you are seeking something, He's going to make it so apparent to you that this is for you, that you will have no doubt about it. So I just wanted to preface that as we go into discussing the chakras, because Michelle and I were introduced to meditating and all this stuff, and I'll never forget, girl. I'll never forget. They were telling me, oh, you don't meditate, you're going to open up these portals and have these demons come in. So it was always from a place of fear. And I'll never forget, girl, I was in a yoga class, and I never did take yoga for years because that was always in the back of my mind, right? So I said, I'm going to do it because I need to get clear. And I remember sitting in, and I remember when I was in there, I was still operating from a place of fear. And I remember sitting there because at the end of it, you sat quietly to meditate. Right. And I just was saying, oh, Jesus, please, Lord Jesus, don't let these demons come in my mind and possess, all this stuff, right? But that was a starting point because I took that step in there. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to say to you is this: be open, trust that God is for you, and that He's not out to trick you. That we are in 5D. We've come up higher. We're not going to come down to you. Okay. Our job is to unveil some things to you. And if you are open, and if you're willing, then you have the ability to come up higher and see God from a different perspective. So I love.
So I'm sorry, that wasn't Martha. I'm sorry, that was Elizabeth.
Thank you.
I apologize.
Was it John's wife? That's okay. Menopause. I can't remember none. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
So the covenant was made after the storm with God and Noah, where God said, "I'm going to give you a sign as a covenant that I won't go through this anymore. Whatever man does, I'm not going to do this again." And so it indicated that He put a bow in the sky. Now, I was kind of trying to study, did He really mean rainbow or what was the reference? But it was significant for a rainbow in the sky after the rain stops or while the rain was occurring and the sun comes out. So it kind of connects together that that's when a rainbow usually occurs, when it's a slight rain and the sun is out. So the rainbow is a signification of 7 colors. There are 7 colors in the rainbow. 7 mean complete. So the chakra has 7 main energy points. And so the energy points that are aligned on your spine, and they start from the bottom of your spine. These energy points go from the bottom of your spine to the middle of your head. Now, some of you may remember as a baby, we guarded that soft spot.
Yeah.
And that soft spot was a place where the babies can hear God openly because he was allowed to come within. But now that we got older, that spot has gotten hard. And it takes a lot for that energy point to be activated because we have covered it with so much condition, confusion, fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment. There are layers that cover that energy point. So we're going to kind of go from the colors and from the bottom of the base. And usually when we're doing meditation, we focus on those energy areas because anything that you're mindful of, you pay attention to, or you focus on is where you center yourself. And so as we've been talking, like at the bottom of the base, that first energy point, it's called chakra. It's a Sanskrit word. It just meaning energy point. So it starts at the bottom, and we're going to talk about it represents the first color in the rainbow, which is red. So your colors, they have significance. I do have notes because it is a lot that you have to. I know a lot of this, but a lot of this I want to include.
We'll talk about both of them. We'll cover all of them tonight and next week. So we'll have a little time to go through them because I really want the viewers to get this. I really want the viewers to, really understand how magical we are as spiritual beings having a human experience and how we can fully equipped. We just need to know what to find.
We are. Right. It's like kind of you've got to know where to get the gas when your car is running out, and meditation helps to stimulate those. So it's very interesting that God would say, I'm going to give you a rainbow. I'm going to give you a reminder. I'm going to make a covenant with you. I am going to energize you. I am going to perfect you. I'm going to heal you. He said all of that with the rainbow. So using 7, he's complete, means the work has been done. Sometimes we don't believe that the work has been done within us, so we don't know that it's been done. So if you don't know where the energy is, then you won't use it. So this is a perfect time during this pandemic, during this transition where we're going from 3D to 5D. During this time, it is imperative that you know those energy points. So we're going to start, since we're going to expand it out for 2 weeks, we're going to probably start and do maybe the first 3, depending on the time, because I will for everyone to know that this is your healing energy. This is the energy that affects not just your physical energy. It affects all your organs. It affects everything that's inside of you that is being activated. When God said you will be able to heal yourself, these energy points are where your healing are. And most medical field is not going to give you this. Now, I'm not a doctor. And let me put that in. I am not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only.
She's not your typical doctor, ladies and gentlemen. I call her Dr. Washington. She is.
I do have a degree in psychology, but I don't have a doctorate. So I just want to put that in. So listen, the first one is called the root chakra. Now, the root chakra is at the base of the spine. It is represented with the color red. And so it's a physical energy that's grounding you. It affects your large intestines, your immune system, and your productive organs. So sometimes, I'm sorry.
slow that down for a second. Let's
Mm-hmm.
focus on the root. Okay, so why is it important that the root chakra? Because when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, so I need to really focus on that to ground myself.
Yes. It's the connection. It's the beginning connection. It is the activating point. It doesn't start. You would think it starts from here, but this is where you transform to. And
And
so
you know
we're
what? I get it because we here on this planet.
right. So you have to be grounded. You can't fly first. You have to be grounded first. And so that's why it's the trance across, through, and beyond. And so as we transform, that's what we're doing. So it is the root. It's your physical energy. Physical energy. A lot of times, like this week, I was having an energy situation, an energy crisis. I was just exhausted, just tired. So I basically focused on the root because I needed to be grounded. Sometimes you can do so much spiritual stuff and you can get so much information that you're flying all the time and you've got
Heavenly
to
bound, you
reground.
ain't no earthly good.
And so
You know
you
what,
got to
girl?
ground yourself.
You know what?
What?
Because I'm open, right? Because I've been meditating since I was 6 years old, sitting in front of watching PBS. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
when I moved into this house, there's this big
Mm-hmm.
oak tree on the corner, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a new moon or something, and I walked outside, and I went and I hugged that tree, and I
Mm-hmm.
thanked it for giving me the oxygen or whatever it does to give me to bless this house and all this kind of stuff. Now people may have thought I was crazy, but you think I care? No, I wanted to make sure that oak tree knew that I respected its presence,
Mm-hmm.
knew that I was grateful for it being there, because an oak tree is just something that's solid. I wanted some stability in my life, you know. So that was the intention of me going out there, and I just hugged it. And call me a hippie. I don't care. I am. But that made me feel so good to do that.
Yeah. And so we must connect with those. The trees are giving us oxygen. So that's our lifeline. And we're giving them what they need. So you can even explore that with a house. Once you take the life out of it, once no one's living there, the house begins to disintegrate and begins to fall in because we need the trees and the trees need us. I had a question one time, why are there so many trees around? Duh, if they weren't, you wouldn't be able to breathe because they're
Mm-hmm,
giving off life to you. So
mm-hmm.
the root chakra it grounds the spirit forces in your body. Now, the spirit forces are so powerful. You have got to be grounded in your body because your body is your temple. It's going to hold this spirit, man. So you've got to connect them together because in order to be effective, God is saying to us, just like you said, don't be so spiritually bound that you're no earthly good or heavenly bound, however you said it, that you're no earthly good because that's what your purpose to do. Your purpose to come here to be earthly good, for people
Mm-hmm.
to see God in a human form. That's what you're here for. And so the root chakra helps you to ground the spirit forces in your body. Um, it allows you to operate in this space, in this place, being grounded, knowing that you are so close to God, but in another respect, you're still on this earth. And so Jesus was an example of having all the heavenly spirit within him, but walking in this earthly realm. And so we have to find that same, if you're going to be like Jesus, learn how to operate on earth with all that power. We got to balance it out. So you can't be all this spiritual person walking around all spooky and not being able to connect with
Well,
the ground.
yeah, and that has something to do with really knowing thyself.
Yeah, your authenticity and knowing
Right.
the connection. Yeah.
And knowing who you are and really just really I keep going back to it, but being open. I mean, we are in a day and age where you have to be open. You know,
Yeah.
the purpose of the pandemic and everything shutting down was because, my opinion, because I have a technical mind. When you shut something down, you have to. It's a virus. You need to clean it up, identify what's causing it, to take it for it to receive an upgrade. So spiritually, we were shut down, isolated, so that we could receive our spiritual upgrade. And the only way an upgrade requires new information.
Right.
You
And
can
we're so stuck.
properly.
Right. We're so stuck and conditioned that when something new comes, we reject it before we even explore what it is. We begin to judge it, we reject it, and we say that it's not good. And we'll do all sorts of things before we allow ourselves. Like you say, you have to be open. We've been closed so long that, I was always told if you keep your hand like this, nothing can get in or nothing can't get out. Well, that's the same thing with your heart. Your heart is your truth place, and we're going to get to that. But in order to be able to accept what we're saying today, there's some people now that's listening. It's going to close down because it sounds like, when I started this, I was accused of being in a cult, all sorts of things. But I was not moved by what people were saying. I was moved by how I was feeling and the openness I was gaining and the connection that I was making with God. So that matters not. I was also introduced to a lot of things through Reverend Ike. We always thought that when I was a kid, all I heard about is money. But everything, we are energy. And so as he began to talk about money, he was also talking about a whole lot of other things that you would have missed if you think that he was just a preacher about money. He was not. He was totally beyond his time. He now that I'm open and I hear him, then he was talking, he was way over that present place that people were. But so you have to be open. And the spirit is not going to take you anywhere that the spirit is not going. And so when you become afraid that you're going to lose your mind or some bad spirits are going to come, if you are the attraction for that, so you cannot be fearful of that unless you attract that. And so when we're talking about them,
Wait a minute.
Go.
Say that again.
If you're fearful of a certain thing because you are a creator, that is what you will attract. That is what you will create. That you are a magnet and you are energy. So if you attract that, that's what will come. But if you allow the spirit to lead and guide you, where is that where Jesus went into the wilderness, but the spirit led him. And so this is a wilderness experience when you go into the chakras. I had no idea what is a chakra. I don't even know how I got connected to the chakra. I just know God opened up a way and I began to look at things and I began to question things. The reason that he opened the way is that I was open for him to open the way.
You know why it opened the way for me? Because I got frustrated because something wasn't clicking, it wasn't working. You know when you start a car and it just won't start, and you be like, nah, I don't put gas in it, I don't put oil in it, the tires is right. What is wrong with this car? Why is it I can't get anywhere? And then when I get somewhere, it break down. What is going on? So I was so frustrated with my life not just working. I mean, I felt like as if I was standstill. Like I was stuck.
Going in a circle. Same thing, same stuff. Nothing was changing. Yes, for 40 years.
And when you are stuck, ladies and gentlemen, what the result of being stuck, you're going to be stagnant, you're going to be bitter, and you're going to be frustrated, and you're going to be angry, and you're going to be angry at God. And he like, look, if you hadn't been so closed-minded, I've been seeing all these signs and everything, but because you just want to continually just whine and complain, you shut off God's messages to you.
Right. It's the communication line. You stop the communication, the dialogue. you're right. The dialogue is not a dialogue. It becomes a monologue. It's just you talking and you listening and not allowing the open communication to come.
Mm-hmm.
So when I began to experience this meditation, the chakras,
Mm-hmm.
all of this, then my life began to line up in a spiritual manner more
Mm-hmm.
so than a physical manner. So I went in where I was usually outside of myself. I went into myself and began to
Mm-hmm.
see my worth based on what God had purposed inside of me, because this is an inside job
Yes,
and
it
He's
is.
inside of me. And so, why was I operating outside of what He was in?
Say that again,
So when
Nicole.
I
Why were you what?
why
Wait,
was
what?
I operating on the outside when He was in? Why was I looking up when He was in? And so I had separated myself, thinking in a religious way that I was connected, but I was not connected because I was still outside, looking at the outside of people, looking at the outside of me. And it was a wreck. It was a wreck going somewhere to happen. And I was wondering why things in my life was, I'm like, God, I'm living for you. Why is this like this? And why is that like that? But I was living outside of myself.
Right.
And until I went inside to the energy place where He said the kingdom of heaven is within, then I began to explore all of these things that God has opened up to us. So the
Mm-hmm.
base chakra is going to the root chakra. They call it root chakra, base chakra, at the bottom of your tailbone. When you're meditating, you're going to take your intentions. If it's an energy situation, you're going to take your intentions on that root chakra, because you need to be grounded. If you're at
Mm-hmm.
a point where you're just out of sorts, you're nervous, you're scared, you're fearful, I dare you to meditate. Put your focus on your root chakra, and it is going to reground you. It's going to take you back so that you can study yourself. It's going to balance you. That is the key word. The red recognizes the blood. So remember on the cross, when the blood came streaming down off the cross, it hit the ground. Whew. I feel some when I start talking about this. It hit the ground. Do you know that being feminine, there's blood that runs every month? It hits the ground. It signifies new birth. Do you even recognize that your uterus is really in a cross shape? That when Christ
All
was
right,
on the
now,
cross,
wait a minute. Now, come on. Now, look. Now, we let's give everybody time to breathe now, because some of them didn't bring their come equipped with their scuba gear, and some of them didn't have come equipped with their parachute, because you take us down low, and then you raise, and then we up float and be like, whoa, because the higher you go, if you can't accommodate all that oxygen, you're gonna pass out. So we don't want the viewers to pass out. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, I get it. I'm vibing with you, girl. But so woo.
So this very thing that we as women hated to go through on a monthly basis, was a signification, was a tying of us, was a grounding of us, was a balancing of us, that we are new birth. We are the new birth. And it's almost like a covenant every month that we got. And Jesus, when He was on the cross, the water and the blood came streaming. So when a woman is having a baby, the water comes first, then the blood comes. So the connection that we as a bride, now let's go spiritually. We talked about it being feminine as a woman. Let's go spiritual. The church is a bride. So everything that a physical woman goes through, the church should be going through too.
Yeah,
Because
you know what? I think some of that verbiage really turns a lot of men off. That's why men were they couldn't understand, because they were like, oh, I'm in love with Jesus, and Jesus was a man, and so a lot of men really had a hard time wrapping their head around all this stuff because of how we were taught, right? So the fact is that it's spiritual, and I even say him because that's how I relate.
Right.
We know God is a spirit, and I think that really should have been stressed throughout, when the church was at the level of what it was, is that he is a spirit, God is a spirit, and people have a hard time wrapping their head around that, but it's energy, and I want the viewers to understand, especially the male viewers, when you develop a relationship with the Father, it's spirit, it's energy, it's God, then it's easier for you to adopt and understand and really view Jesus as an example, as a model, as a representative of how you could be as a man, by operating God's power and all of this. So I just wanted to say that because I was like, oh God, she's talking about that. Okay, wait, no, wait, don't click off. But I'm glad you took it there to the next level. Okay, the 7 chakras, the root chakra, the red chakra, it's to serve as ground us. What's the next chakra?
Well, before we go on, I want them to also understand that if you're having intestinal problems, it's based on the root chakra. The immune system, the root chakra. The reproductive organs, the root chakra. If you're having back pains, the root chakra. Feet, hips, spine, legs, adrenal glands, obesity, it's the root chakra. I couldn't leave that out. I couldn't leave it out. Arthritis, cancer, AIDS, and kidney all have to do with the root chakra. If we begin to meditate, to activate, healing comes. That's how God says your body will heal itself, because when you activate this energy and your energy, sickness cannot live there. Yeah. That's what got my attention about the chakras. I don't have to be sick. That's why God said we are healed, because He has incorporated in us
on how to heal
the energy centers of how to heal ourselves. So I was saying that
if we operate properly, that's the thing. If we operate properly,
but my people perish for the lack of knowing how to operate. So in this day, we walk in with the pediatrics of believing. Then we enter into knowing, and now we're in knowing how. So you can't stay at the believing stage. You have to move. You have to increase. If you're still believing,
Jesus do this for me. I'm just believing. When you go know it, when you go really allow your faith to go to the next level, so that you can see the result of your belief. He said, help my unbelief. And Jesus showed him that. So how long is it going to take for you to get from that stage of belief to seeing the result of your belief by trusting and going to the next stage? And that requires faith.
Yeah. And so that's the root chakra. That's the grounder. That's the red, the blood. You're covered. It's just taking you back to your source. And I'm going to throw this in, and it might scare some people, but Eve was created first.
Now, what, co-host?
She was in. The spirit is in. So the spirit was created first before God formed man.
That's true. I'm glad you elaborate on that. Because the fact, because we've been conditioned, we've just been conditioned in the formality of it, but He created Adam and Eve in His imagination before He formed them, and
but God always goes in first before it's out.
I mean, if you want to give it a name and everything, yeah. I mean, but guys, don't get caught up in that. Just stay in the spiritual realm, because what does Shakespeare say? What's in a name? So just stay there. Don't allow your, to get into cognitive dissonance, denial. That's my new word. I keep saying it because I just love it. to get denial where you shut off to being open to take in, and then take it back, go back to the drawing board and research it for yourself.
But
So,
if we understand that everything is a spirit, we won't get caught up in male and female. We won't get caught up in who was first or who was last. It doesn't matter as long as it happened. But I'm just saying, if you look at the spirit being first, that's just a little something to get people like, oh, she crazy. You're gonna eat, this is gonna eat right. It's gonna either drive you or draw you. And then when I say that, that causes people to study. So that's why I said it.
All right. So with the root chakra, what's the next chakra?
Sacral. The sacral.
Wait, what now?
Sacral. SACRAL.
Go ahead. You know I'm clowning. Go.
Orange is the color that represents it. It is about 3 inches below your navel. It is that area, in case you're trying to locate it. It signifies deliverance, passionate praise. Deliverance and passionate praise.
Awesome.
So a lot of people say.
So you saying, I'm interrupting because I'm intrigued, and I know the viewers are too. So you saying that once you get grounded, then you'll be able to praise properly.
Right. You have a passion for it.
Yes.
So you can see how the energy is like trancing. You know, you have to be grounded first. You cannot praise passionately unless you're grounded. And your grounding comes in knowing who you are and your authenticity and knowing your worth. So at this point, you can get delivered from whatever. Because remember, any habit that you have, it means your body is talking. Your body has taken over as your mind, and it just does stuff automatically. And so you give the power back when you begin to be delivered from those habits that are not beneficial to you.
And that's how you take your power back.
Yes, through the chakra, through the energy.
Okay.
And that one, it covers ovaries, bladder, your bowel, your small intestines. So if you're having bladder problems, gallbladders, kidney stones, any vaginal or prostate cancer, you need to work on your sacra and start wearing some orange in that area.
Ain't that something?
Just wearing some orange in that area. The energy from the color orange, that's the sacral color. That's what the sacral responds to. So you just need to put on some orange and buy some orange underwear, whatever it is. This is in that lower area, and begin. Man, this is some good stuff.
Yes, it is. And see, here's the thing. Some of y'all be like, what's she talking about putting on some orange? Well, let me say something to y'all. Let me explain something to you. Why do you use olive oil signifying it's the blood of Jesus to protect your house? It's all faith-based, okay? I'm going to stop yelling at y'all, but I'm just trying to shake you up, right? If you have no faith in it, it ain't going to work. So the thing is, if you want to get centered and grounded, take those baby steps. You may not, it may feel foreign to you. It may feel as if, oh, what is this? But you are stepping out of your comfort zone. You're stepping out of that zone where you've been in for so many years, trapped. So now you're going to break free and be delivered and get grounded. And then you will be in a constant state of praise. Why? Because you are addressing each of your chakras and opening them up.
So they're lined up on your spine. So as you begin to line them up, you create balance. We're also going to look at we're creating the cross. We're going up. And as God is energizing us, that we're going up to his temple, then we'll be able to go out to others and extend that same energy. That's where your aura comes from. It also has those same colors. So as we go up, we're going to be able to go out, and then it's going to create an aura around you.
Okay, now, okay, so all right, so go ahead, and we talking about the sacral. Okay, so let's get to the third one because I need to go and find the definition of aura because some viewers don't know what that is. So go on,
Okay.
Coach, pull that up.
Okay, so also if your sacral is not in line, it can cause you to be over emotional. So
Yes, yes.
if you're over emotional, then that's where you need to focus your energy at.
Say that again,
Okay.
Coach.
Okay, your
Say that again.
sacral helps you to focus if you're over emotional. If you're over emotional, then you would need to do a meditation and you would need to begin to focus, wear you some orange. You know, you don't just get up every day and just put on something. You got to find out what kind of energy you need for the day and what it is that you need to give off for the day. That's why it's important that you just don't put on anything. You just get up in the morning, you begin to have your meditation, and then God's going to direct you how to do that. That was just a little sideline. The sacral puts you in a devotion manner. That's why it says a passionate praise. You know, this is your grateful moment. This is the moment that you're thankful and you're giving God praise for everything. So we're going to go to the next one, which is the solar plexus. The solar plexus. Now, it's right above your navel. Also, when we go back to sacral, a lot of people say, I feel that in my gut.
Solar plexus.
That's when you feel butterflies there, tingling there, or a sensation there, that means that energy is putting off some extra stuff for you.
Isn't it where your intuition is?
Huh?
Isn't it where your intuition is where it stems from? Your intuition?
No.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm sure it's some form of it. I'm not saying it doesn't. I haven't read on that, but it is where that energy gets going at its highest frequency when you're feeling that. A lot of people feel nervous, and they feel that just means that is activating for whatever you need. We think it's a bad thing because we feel that, but it's the indication that that's the area that you need to focus in because that energy is going to come from that area. So let's go to solar plexus because we're running out of time. The solar plexus is the yellow is represented. This is where the fire and purification comes. It's right above your navel, and it activates for those people that are suffering from diabetes, digestive illness, stomach, upper intestines, upper back, upper spine. If it's overactive, you are domineering and aggressive. So these areas can be not active enough or they can be overactive. That's why you meditate so that you can balance them out. You don't want too much energy in one area. You want to balance them out where all the energy is coming to all areas as you begin to go, going up to the top part. So if you have a low energy in that area, you have low self-esteem. So
the solar plexus helps us to manage our stress properly at some point. I'm cheating because I'm Googling, but because I'm getting ready to put this definition here. But it made sense because the solar plexus helps to keep you centered.
If you're saying I'm sick of the stomach, it's an energy.
You make me sick.
Right. It's an energy situation in that area. So as you can see, if we get these energies in line, we're going to be feeling fine. We're going to be doing fine. We're going to be going forth. We're going to have such a balance. And then people are saying, well, why are you laughing so much? Because I'm energized. Why you smile so much what you want me to do? Cry? So
I'm always in a state of joy. I'm always in a state of joy. I mean,
it's not happiness. It's
so grateful.
Joy is emotional stability, meaning no matter what happens, it does not change. The joy does not change. No matter, I don't care how bad it is. And people have don't really realize that joy is not happiness. Joy is a feeling of satisfaction of knowing who you are, whose you are, and who's going to handle this situation no matter what it is. So when we balance that out, we have emotional stability. We become stable. Nothing can rock us.
Girl,
Not
when
even
you said that
2020.
definition, I saw my picture up there. So when y'all think, say that definition again about what the joy represents, because I'm telling you, I saw my picture. I was like,
Joy is emotional stability. Emotional stability. You are not moved by situations, problems, things, no matter what's going on. And the reason you can have that is because you trust yourself to trust God that He's going to handle that.
Say that again, co-host.
The reason you have the joy or the emotional stability because you trust yourself to trust God to know that He's going to handle that.
You got to trust yourself.
Yeah.
You got to trust yourself. You were designed for it. You were built for it. You were made for it. That this is a part of your story, that God created this scenario for you so that He can show off in your life.
Yes. And He gets the glory because nobody could do it but Him.
My sacral is overly aggressive.
Well, those are the three.
And I'm glad you gave me a little time, a co-host. I appreciate it because I wanted to share it with the viewers. Mm-hmm. Now, for so many years, I stumbled around in life. I was frustrated, and I was introduced to meditation as a very young child. When Mama was working and my uncles was babysitting me, they was back there asleep. I'm up watching PBS, right? Watching the yoga lady sitting in her position, and I'm practicing, and I'm sitting there with my hands like that, and my legs crossed, and I'm meditating with her, My uncles sleep. They think I'm in the bed, right? And I'm up watching PBS, and she was doing yoga and meditation and all this kind of stuff. So I'm always reminded of that. And so when I forgot about that, and I started going through life and all these struggles and frustrated times and all this stuff that was going on. And 2012 was a major turning point for me. It was when I was introduced to a lot of resources, people, places, and things. Mm-hmm. And I began my journey. 8, 9, 10, and then 11 and 12 and 13 was when 12 was the major year. I started meditating. I wasn't working. I was living on my unemployment. I was taking a bus. I didn't have a means of transportation, but I worked. I just enrolled in university, earned another degree, and I turned a corner. And I leveraged that time I had by meditating because I was tired of being overly emotional. I was tired of not seeing the results of my life. I was tired of being stuck. So if you're tired of being stuck, may we encourage you to look into meditating. I don't have the time I'm telling you, your gift will make room for you. This is a gift because it's how bad you want to really take your power back. I wanted to do it, Michelle, and I'm telling you, I would meditate sometimes 2 or 3 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And I go for a walk and I come back, I go to the gym, I meditate, and I was in the best shape of my life, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And I can attest and tell you guys that if you really decide that you want to take your power back, then we suggest you start meditating. Now,
and you start out with 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. Yeah. And work up to more. Yeah. Because eventually you'll get to a point where you can meditate without closing your eyes.
That's right. That's right. Now, I made a disclaimer, okay? Now, listen, when you guys start meditating, I'm going to tell you right now, you are actually knocking on Spirit's door to say, I'm ready to address and deal with everything that's down there. And he's going to take you down there, and you will be able to, he's going to help you see all those deficiencies within your soul. But he is with you. You'll be relieved. You'll start, I cried. You'll be attracted to things that's going to help you. I remember video, and because I had such low self-esteem and no confidence or anything, and this video that I shared years ago, but it found me. And I remember the first time I heard it, and I was laying there in the bed, and I just started crying, and I was just crying, and I felt the release, and I felt encouraged, and that was a starting point. So that's KP Media. Okay, it's 8:00. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for watching. We want to thank you for sharing. We want to thank you. God, I need to get me an applause machine for the great Michelle Massey Washington, because she
come on. Come on now.
Yeah.
It's called absent from the body and present with the Lord.
Okay. All right, co-host. She bad to the bone, y'all, ain't she? Ain't she bad to the bone? I told you. This ain't your typical Bible study. It is our intention and objective to have you guys come up higher and really fall in love with the scriptures and with our Creator. That's our objective. You're going to be excited about God again if you keep watching, spiritually speaking.
It's a spiritual orgasm.
Let me shift.
That keeps happening over and over and over again.
Thank you guys so much for watching. It really is. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's why I'm always happy.
Oh, you man.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for catching on the replay. And until next week. Now, next week is a very special Sunday. It is Valentine's Day weekend. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I got a date. So we're going to wrap up at 8:00 right on the time.
Okay.
Yes, girl. Yes. So next Sunday is Valentine's Day weekend, and we're going to come back and we're going to wrap up the chakras. And
we're going to talk about the heart chakra on Valentine's Day.
So that this time next year, you're going to be sitting on the other side of swoop. Okay, all right. Thank you guys again. You're the best. I'll see you next Sunday, my love. Thank you for watching.
All right.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for catching a replay. And until next Sunday. Oh, let me find my good girl. Awesome show, co-host. Thank you so much. All right, guys.
All right.
Until next Sunday, stay in love, everybody.
Bye.
To jumpstart your 2021, go to www.vanessaklinger.com, click the free book giveaway button, complete your details, and I will ship a free book to you. Stay in love. Thank you for enjoying the show. If you have an awesome product or service that you would like Vanessa to promote, go to www.vanessaklinger.com/show sponsor, and we'll get back to you. We have monthly sponsorship programs, ad slots, all kinds of wonderful, great things to promote your product or service. Contact Vanessa today.